kind of a long speech. Maybe I'll cut it down a little bit. Dear Rector, honored guests, honored staff, faculty, and professors, parents, students, friends of Burch, today I want to congratulate the graduating class of 2015. I've had the privilege to teach many of the graduating class thanks to our dear rector and the staff, and I just am humbled and honored that I was asked to speak today. So thank you for this opportunity to share some wisdom and principles, some values that I feel will help you and launch you into your career. My journey started maybe something like yours in a small town, 50 people in Northern California. I read books, I like to read, and I won a bike in a contest. And I took the bike and I rode it into the forest, and I got curious and I read more. And that led me to go to university, to work in libraries, to study more, and to, after that, go to Wall Street. I loved the logic and mathematics of finance, and that brought me all the way to graduate school. At Harvard, I was again a student, and I was able to learn from some of the brightest thinkers that are shaping the current economy and system that we live in. People like Nobel laureate Robert Merton or Dr. Clay Christensen. But my advice based on all that is to stay flexible in your thinking, to be curious and to keep reading, and remain a lifelong learner that you have become. John Keats, the famous poet, said, "The only means of strengthening one's intellect is to make up one's mind about nothing, and to let the mind be a thoroughfare for all thoughts." You might wonder, what's a Harvard graduate doing in Bosnia-Herzegovina? Well, the decision was not without consideration. In short, I came because of my wife. I joined my dream with hers. We have a passion to help the Roma children join the community in Bosnia-Herzegovina to gain access to education in their early years, to prepare them for school. And after a year and a half of coming, in 2008, we were able to open a preschool. That dream that we had became a reality. Our preschool is called Devleci Chevren, which is Roma for God's kids. So after being in this country for 7 years, almost 7 years, I stepped first time on the Burch campus, and I was pleasantly surprised. It reminded me of my days 18 years ago at Harvard. There was a feeling, there was a different feeling on the campus. It was a feeling of safety. It was a feeling of belonging. It was a feeling of strength. It was a feeling of style and openness. Here at Burch, as at Harvard, there's always a lot of activity at the beginning of the semester, a buzz, the students, the professors, gathering in clubs and teams and the faculties and departments setting goals for the year to come. And as we've seen tonight, dear family, Burch family, we accomplished a lot this year. A lot of those dreams came to reality. So together we did this. Thank you, everyone. If I could describe this class that we have before us, I've taught almost 130 of them, with one word, it would be potential. You've got a lot of potential, graduates. But maybe you've heard that before. And you might have heard the quote, potential means you haven't done anything yet. Well, you have done something. Today as in the past, there's a lot of focus on doing. And dear graduates, I wish when I was your age, someone would have told me about just being. Being a good friend, being a good sister or brother, being a good son or daughter, being a good father or mother. After all the excitement, that's what really matters. But you might be asking yourself, what does it mean to be good? It means, how do you treat other people? It means, what's your integrity? So I have a question for you graduates. At the end of your university experience, how have your perception of the world changed? since you first stepped on the campus of Burch? Well, I hope you've discovered that it's a big world out there. It's diverse, it's complex, it's ever-changing. And Burch is like that world. It's an example, though, of how all of our differences here at Burch come together to accomplish a goal. We have a regenerative, reinforcing ecosystem that helps us to educate young people. You trusted us to educate your children. You trusted us to, and we work together to help you create a new reality of the world. I think after you experience Burch, you know what you can do. Don't wait for someone else to do it. Life is too short. You could get bullied. You could be exploited. You could be put down. You could be disrespected or underappreciated. You could even fall into corruption. Please, if you find yourself in that situation, leave. Get going. There's gonna be a better place for you to create your dream. Don't quit, though. Don't let fear or failure or criticism make you powerless. Instead, focus on these three things. Reach for the stars, as we heard from our alumni speaker. Set big goals. Be in the tension of just being. Have a good time. But at the same time, stay motivated and don't get complacent. Lastly, surround yourself with good people that support you, that challenge you, that laugh with you and cry with you. Some of you might be staying in Bosnia. Others of you might go back to Turkey. Others of you will go in different places of the world. But before you go, I implore you, always be giving. Always give of yourself, your talents, your abilities, for the greater good of the people with you. Give. Give to your family. Give to a religious community. Give to a nonprofit organization. Give if you're a member of a team or a company. Whatever community you join, give. I finally have last words to say. We heard a quote from Steve Jobs earlier. I won't repeat the quote, but I've been influenced a lot by being at Burch. I know all of you have. It's touched all the way down to my youngest child of 2.5 years old. Last week at the Burch Bosna Sema soccer game, football game, the championship game where Burch Bosna Sema won the championship. Some of my students were playing. My little son was down there cheering them on. And all I can say is he was chanting something. He was chanting the foundation of our university, Bosna Sema, Bosna Sema, Bosna Sema. And I think many of us have that in us from where we came here, all the people that are here today. So I just want to thank Bosna Sema as a foundation for our University Burch, for the future going forward. Thank you, Bosna Sema.